Hi, seventh grade. Welcome back to Touching Spirit Fair. Today I'm going to show you guys what your expectation will be as we read chapters 24 and 25. Today we're only going to be reading chapter 24, so this packet can be started, but it should not be finished because you have to wait until we finish chapter 25 to finish it. Now remember, the packet has been converted into a Google Slide. So I do not want you doing it in your hard packet, the one that was sent home with you. You're doing it right here. And all you're going to need to do is just click on the text box and then you can type answer here, and then just type your answer. And then you'll just move on to the next box. It makes it really easy. And then all you'll do is hit the turn in button like you would any other kind of Google Classroom assignment. Also keep in mind, we have these little functions where you'll see the microphone next to the Bitmojis of myself and Mrs. Pierce. If you just kind of hover over there and hit the play button, you'll hear that chunk of text being read to you. So if you're working on the assignment and maybe you're having a hard time reading what the question is or you just want to hear it, you could always just play that.
Chapter 25 are 24 and 25 journals, thinking on your own.
And you could hear it being read. It's a nice little function. All right, so let's take a look. Just like the last 3 chapters, this packet is going to be covering all review. So it's the skills that we've been working on since chapter 1 of Touching Spirit Bear. So all of the notes that we've taken regarding the different skills and the different concepts are physically, like I wrote them on my packet when I taught it to you, and you were expected to write it too as well. So if you have your packet at home and you're a little confused on some of the skills, you can always go back to your hard packet and hopefully you wrote down the notes, because then you can remind yourself of what it is. If you didn't do that, or you're still confused and you need help with the questions later on, email me, or better yet, jump into a live Zoom session every day, Monday through Friday from 10 to 12. I am live on my computer, just waiting for you guys to come by and ask questions or just say hello. So if you're working on the packet during school hours, 10 to 12, and you're confused, come to Zoom and I'll help you out. So let's take a look. I'm going to explain it now. Hopefully it'll be good enough. So we're going to be focusing on character traits for these first 2 questions, which is something we've been doing since chapter 1. Remember, a character trait is the personality. It's how the person is on the inside, how you would describe the good stuff, like the important stuff about them. It's not their physical trait. So you can't say tall, you can't say short, you can't say brown hair, you can't say blue eyes, you can't say tan skin, you can't say pale skin. You can't tell me about their role in society. So you can't say rich, you can't say poor, you can't say teacher, you can't say student. All of those count as physical traits. We're not doing that here. We're doing character traits, so their personality. So the instruction for the first 2 says to find character traits of 2 characters, not Cole, and evidence to support the trait. So it could be any other character but Cole, and you need 2 of them. So it could be Garvey and Peter. It could be Edwin and Garvey. It could be Edwin and Peter. It could be any 2 characters, just not Cole. So right here in this first box, you would type the name of the character and the trait that you've seen. So let's say you picked Garvey. You would type Garvey's name, and then next to his name, the personality trait. Okay? The way you would describe him. That goes in this first box. In this box is for the quotation and the page number you found the quotation on. So in chapters 24 and 25, let's say you figured out how you would describe Garvey. You wrote down his name and personality trait in the box on the left. On the box on the right, you would copy down the exact quote. What did the book say that made you say that personality trait? Copy the author's words here with the page number. And then the other 2 boxes, you'll do the same thing, but with a different character. So if you said Garvey here, you can't say Garvey here. If you said Peter up here, you cannot say Peter down here. 2 different characters, Cole cannot be one of them. Hope that makes sense. Second chunk has to do with emotion words. So you're going to need to find 2 phrases or sentences. So a sentence is a whole sentence. A phrase might be just a chunk of a sentence, so not the whole thing, maybe just a part of it, that uses emotional words to convey the tone of feeling of the scene. So that just means a sentence or a phrase that in there's going to be a word that lets you know how you're feeling, how the character is feeling. So that could be something like the word cried, laughed, screamed, yelled, shook. Okay, those kind of words might tell me how a character is feeling. So if you see a sentence like that, copy the sentence down in the box, the whole sentence as it's stated in the book, include the page number, and then you're going to take the word that shows me that emotion and you're going to underline it. So to underline something, you can just like highlight it with your cursor and go up to where it says you, and boom, it's underlined. Okay? That's how you can underline something that you've typed. So you're going to do it twice. 2 sentences or 2 phrases, different ones that help to show an emotion. Type out the sentence, give me the page number you found it on, and then underline the word that shows emotion. Next set is figurative language. So figurative language, remember those are phrases an author might use. You cannot take them literally. If you tried, it wouldn't make any sense really. Figurative language is supposed to make you understand something different. And we've taken notes on this. It's in the packet that you should have at home. Simile, metaphor, onomatopoeia, idiom, personification, and hyperbole. All right, so as you're reading, just be on the lookout. You guys were pretty good the first time we did it with finding similes and finding personification. Okay, so maybe those are 2 that are a little easier for you, but be on the lookout for any of them. When you find one in this text box, you'll type the sentence that contains that example, copy it exactly as the book has it, give me the page number, and then in the box right to the right of it, you'll tell me what type of figurative language it is. So if it's personification, you would type personification in this box. If it's a simile, you would type simile in this box. If it's metaphor, you would type metaphor in the box. And you need 2 examples. One here, one here. All right. Next chunk is on word choice. Find a word or phrase. Okay, it could be just a word. It doesn't even have to be a whole sentence. It could be one word that the author used that you think the author chose purposefully. Why did he choose that word or phrase? What does it show us? Okay, so you'll find something that you think the author, because the author could have used any word. Why did they pick that word? There was a specific reason. And you will type that word or phrase in the text box with the page number, and you have to tell me why they picked it. Why did the author say that sentence? They could have said it in a different way. What does that sentence or that word show me as a reader? Okay, the second page that you're going to have to do, up here it says, to summarize the plot from the 2 chapters in 3 sentences. Choose your words carefully. So remember, a summary is your own words telling me what happened. So in 3 sentences, not 4, not 10, not 2, in 3 sentences, tell me what happened in the book and in these 2 chapters, chapters 24 and 25. So really think carefully first. What were the important things you need to tell me that happened in chapters 24 and 25, and give me 3-sentence summary to do so. Here is for a text to self, text to text, or text to world connection. So what happened in these 2 chapters, and then think about like, what does that remind you of? Does that remind you of something that happened to you, or something that you saw on a TV show or a movie or another book? Is it something that you maybe have heard about happening in the world either now or a long time ago, maybe in social studies class? Tell me what it reminds you of in this text box. And then the last one you'd have to do is to predict what's going to happen in the last 3 chapters. Make a prediction for how the book's going to end. Keep in mind that I've added on the margin on this page, along with the margin on the first page, an extra box. So if by chance what you're typing seems to be too much, you can always just click on that box and finish your answer, and I could always read it there. All right. So I hope that helped to kind of go over the expectations. If anything is confusing, please come to Zoom. Some of you have been doing that, but not many of you, and that's probably the best way for you to clear up your understanding. You could pop in for like 2 minutes. You could share your page with me. I could walk you through it. You'll understand it, and then you can go about your day. So if you have questions, that's the best place to go. Between 10 and 12, come to Zoom. Otherwise, email me and I will get back to you and I'll try to help you out. All right. So remember, today you're reading chapter 24 and you're starting this packet. You'll finish it when we finish chapter 25. Bye, seventh grade.